So I was arguing with a homosexual, and they tried to tell me that homosexuality is this biological thing. So I looked at the research studies, and it said that it gave me a list of 5 key researchers in this sexual orientation study stuff. 3 of them are homosexuals. Okay, obvious bias. Their argument basically hinges on this idea of biological determinism, to where your decisions are just a matter of your biology and like your brain structure and your hormones and all this stuff. Okay, it's totally dumb. It takes away from the idea of decision making. All right. And I suspect that the researchers that weren't homosexuals were probably like Democrats and just like biased. So, totally dumb. Okay, there might be some kind of correlation with, certain hormones and homosexuality because it weakens the body or something, and weak people have a higher tendency to be homosexuals or, stuff like that. But you have the decision to choose, you have the ability to decide what your sexuality is. Okay, you have the capability of being confused about it. All right, you have, it was such a dumb argument from this person, okay? And it's a common argument that I see. And obviously the scientific community is totally biased on the subject, just a bunch of, the educated community is not all righteous people, okay? So they mentioned 2 major organizations that support this idea of homosexuality being biological, but they also promote the research of Robert Sapolsky, who is a behavioral determinist, a biological behavioral determinist, that says that you don't make any decisions and it's all deterministic, and so it's just a bunch of stupidity. So then we were saying, look, do you understand that people have said that they were homosexuals and later on chose to be heterosexual? It's just so stupid, okay? And then you try to make the argument that, well, what about having a skin color? What about being a white person, okay? You can't choose to be white, and you also can't choose to be homosexual, and it was just such a stupid argument. And then we were talking about the brain, the neurological similarities of murderers and stuff, and neurological similarities of homosexuals, and it was just such a dumb thing. And it's like, well, are the murderers making a choice, but you're saying the homosexuals aren't making a choice? Ugh. So when the homosexuals try to say that they don't have a choice and it's some biological thing, there's obviously bias in this scientific community. Okay, don't just trust, don't be naive. All right, you actually have to look through their research and stuff and see that, it's ridiculous. All right, I want you to understand that the educated community, okay, well, just the people that have degrees, all right, they're not all good people, okay? There are a lot of swindling people with degrees. Okay, you look at these universities and stuff. I've been to universities, and it's not full of good people, okay? So then he was saying anybody that disagrees with homosexuality is homophobic, and he was saying stuff like speech is violent. So then he was asking me to explain logically why homosexuality is wrong, and I was explaining it, and it was a very stubborn person. Okay, they were also stubborn about all kinds of other things, political things, philosophical discussions, and just, it was ridiculous. So I was trying to tell this person that it's impossible to choose something that you don't want to do. Okay, whenever a decision is involved, whatever you choose is what you wanted. So when you talk about sexual desire, okay, whatever you choose is your desire. Okay, can people desire the wrong thing? Yes, they can. It's called free will. Okay, you can choose to do something bad, and that's what you that's what you wanted to do. Okay, you followed a bad line of logic. Okay, you were confused. You were evil. But we have the capability to choose what we desire, to make a decision. Okay, it's not this deterministic biological stuff. The idea of that takes away from the meaning of life. Okay, it takes away from the idea of love, accountability, okay, all the things that give life meaning. So stay away from deterministic concepts. Homosexuality is a choice. Okay, it's not like having a skin color. All right, it's not like some kind of genetic mutation or something. Okay, it's obviously a choice. It's a behavior. Okay, it's something that you can choose to either do or not do. You can choose to desire it or not to desire it. It's an action. Okay, intercourse is an action. So that's an example of how the scientific community can be very stupid and biased. Okay, don't always just trust the majority of people in a field or the majority of anything. Okay, you actually have to use critical thinking. Okay, I understand that our nation's based on majority rule, but you have to be prepared for them to be wrong. Okay, just